Welcome back to Drive Next, where we take you deeper into the future of performance machines than anyone else on YouTube. Today, we're diving into a car that has lived in whispers, rumors, prototypes, and the dreams of Corvette faithful for years. It's the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette Zora, a machine that represents the absolute peak of Corvette engineering, an all-new chapter where electrification, raw combustion, and aerospace-grade chassis design come together in a package that pushes the Corvette name into supercar and even hypercar territory. What you're about to hear is not just a review, it's the most detailed look yet into what could be the most extreme road-legal Corvette ever built, and possibly the fastest car General Motors has ever produced. From the moment you walk up to the Zora, you immediately understand that this is not simply an evolution of the C8. The stance is lower, the presence is meaner, and the details are sharper. The nose sits closer to the pavement than ever, almost shark-like in the way it angles forward. Chevrolet has reworked the entire front section for cooling, aerodynamics, and stability at high speeds. The headlights stretch back more aggressively, with blade-like LED signatures that give the car a focused, almost predatory expression. Massive air channels, far more functional than decorative, sit on either side of the front bumper, pulling in air not only for the radiators but for brake cooling and the hybrid system's thermal management. The hood features a new center extraction vent, helping reduce front-end lift at speeds well over 180 miles per hour. Even standing still, you get the sense that the Zora's mission is simple: go fast, grip harder, and manage airflow like a fighter jet. Move along the side and the transformation becomes even more dramatic. The proportions are unmistakably Corvette, but the Zora exaggerates them. The side intakes are gigantic, carved deep into the body like tunnels feeding a mid-mounted beast. The bodywork is more sculpted, more muscular, with carbon fiber accents that reduce weight and contribute to stability. The wheel arches flare wider than anything we've seen on the Z06 or E-Ray, giving the Zora a planted posture that looks ready to explode off the line. The wheel stems of VASA available in forged aluminum or optional carbon fiber are wrapped in ultra-sticky performance tires that have been specifically tuned for the Zora's hybrid torque management. Behind them are massive carbon ceramic brakes that promise fade-free stopping even after repeated high-speed abuse. The side mirrors are slender and aerodynamic, mounted slightly higher for better visibility and airflow control, and the roofline tapers smoothly to the rear, channeling wind exactly where Chevrolet wants it. At the back, the Zora becomes a statement. A large, fixed rear wing dominates the tail, engineered not as an aesthetic feature but as a functional necessity to keep the car glued to the pavement. The taillights retain the signature Corvette style but are sharper and more angular, framing the rear in a way that makes the car look wide, planted, and ready for a track attack. The rear diffuser is enormous, sculpted for optimal downforce and air extraction. Quad exhaust outlets at 2 on each side sit low and wide, tuned to deliver a deep, electrified growl that blends V8 thunder with electric torque. The entire rear section feels like a race car that somehow slipped through homologation and arrived on the street fully armed. Inside, the Zora takes everything the C8 platform has already perfected and amplifies it. The cockpit remains driver-focused, wrapping you in a high-tech environment that feels like a cross between a stealth jet and a luxury cruiser. Premium materials line every surface: hand-stitched leather, Alcantara, carbon fiber, and precision metal accents. The digital instrument cluster is fully reconfigurable and displays performance metrics tailored to the Zora's hybrid nature, including real-time electric torque assist, battery temperature, boost levels, and power blending between the V8 and the electric motors. The central infotainment display uses GM's latest software, faster and smoother than ever, with track telemetry, customizable drive modes, and an intuitive interface. The steering wheel is redesigned with a firmer grip and new multi-function controls, while the seats and deep bucket performance seats offer more lateral support for the kind of G-forces this car can generate. There's a surprising level of comfort here too. Chevrolet hasn't abandoned the idea that Corvettes are meant to be driven daily, so the Zora still includes heated and ventilated seats, high-end audio, wireless connectivity, and a cabin quietness that belies the violence of the powertrain sitting inches behind your head. Speaking of that powertrain, this is where the Zora truly separates itself from anything wearing a Corvette badge before it. At the heart of the Zora is a twin-turbocharged flat-plane crank V8, derived from the Z06's LT6 but strengthened, boosted, and tuned for higher output. Paired with the front-axle electric motor system, the Zora delivers combined power figures that push it into hypercar territory. Estimates place total output well above 1,000 horsepower, making it not only the most powerful Corvette ever produced but also one of the most powerful American performance cars in history. The electric motors provide instant torque off the line, eliminating lag and launching the Zora forward with brutal immediacy. Chevrolet's performance engineers have tuned the hybrid system to deliver torque vectoring, improving turn-in response and helping the car rotate effortlessly through corners. Acceleration is expected to be staggering. 0 to 60 times dip close to the 2-second range, possibly even under ideal conditions. Quarter-mile runs approach the 10-second mark. The top speed is projected to exceed 250 miles per hour, depending on final gearing and aero configuration. But raw numbers tell only part of the story. What makes the Zora remarkable is the way it blends power and control. The chassis is reinforced with carbon fiber structural elements, the suspension uses magneto-archaeological dampers that react in milliseconds to changing conditions, and the electronic control systems are more advanced than any previous Corvette. This is not merely a car built for straight-line bragging rights, it is engineered for balanced, repeatable, and precise track performance. The hybrid system also contributes to braking stability, recovering energy while smoothing deceleration. The entire driving experience feels futuristic, precise, and intense, yet surprisingly refined. And now for the part many of you always ask about, the price. A car with this level of engineering, performance, and exclusivity was never going to come cheap. The 2026 Corvette Zora is expected to start well above the Z06 and E-rate, with early estimates placing the base price in the mid-$200,000 range. Options say especially carbon fiber packages, performance upgrades, or unique interior combinations. You can push some builds closer to $250,000 or more. That positions the Zora firmly in supercar territory, competing with machines from McLaren, Ferrari, and Lamborghini. But here's the thing, if Chevrolet delivers the performance levels they are targeting, the Zora could undercut those brands while matching or surpassing them on the road and track. The value proposition remains strong, especially for enthusiasts who recognize what it represents in the Corvette lineage. So as we wrap up this step dive review, the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette Zora appears to be the culmination of decades of Corvette ambition. It's not just a faster version of the C8, it's the realization of a dream engineers and fans have whispered about since the first mid-engine Corvette concepts in the 1970s. It is aggressive, cutting-edge, electrified, brutally powerful, technologically sophisticated, and unmistakably American. It carries the Corvette name into the era of hybrid supercars while keeping the spirit of the brand alive. If you're a Corvette lover, this is the car that pushes the heritage forward. If you're a performance enthusiast, it's a new benchmark from a manufacturer that keeps proving it can shock the world. And if you're someone who simply loves the art of speed, the Zora is a statement that the future of high-performance driving is not just coming up, it has arrived. Thanks for watching Drive Next. If you enjoyed this step dive into the 2026 Corvette Zora, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss our next feature. Stay driven, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.